Today I'm going to share my 5 must-dos in Power BI. Before we jump in, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, it is definitely a great deal. So now, let's do this. So the first must do in Power BI is to import only the necessary data into Power BI Desktop. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. If you are familiar with SQL, you're gonna love this. So this is Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, and as you can see within this database, the AdventureWorks 2020, I have a fact table called Finance. Fact Finance. So let's test this real quick. So now if you want to use this table from this database in Power BI, you can import this data. So let me show you. If you are here, for example, you can go over here, get data, more, and then right here, this is going to be SQL Server database. Select this option, connect. So it's thinking you need to have the server name. I do have it. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. And then also the database. This is optional. This is what I'm trying to achieve here. You can go ahead and just hit OK for now. I wanted to show you something here. So once you do that, now you have this database, and then if we go over here, scroll down, you can see here the finance fact table or the fact finance table. What you can do is just select this table, and then you can start loading the data into Power BI. But there are better ways to do this. So what does it mean? It means that you need to focus on the data that you care about. For this particular case, let's say that you already talked to your business users. They don't care about scenario key. They don't care about the department growth key, for example. They only care about the date and also about the amount, because they are talking about sales probably here. So what is the point with this? So the point is that you need to focus on the data that you care about, the data that your business users care about. And for this specific example, the users care about date and amount. How much money they are making for a specific period. So we only need 2 columns here. So what do we need to do with the other columns? We don't have to import them. So you can do this in 2 different ways. You can just keep opening Power Query, which is a powerful tool here, a cleaning tool. We only care about date key and also amount. Hold down Control and select amount, right click, and then remove other columns. So once you do that, you only have these 2 columns, and also you can go an extra step here. We're gonna group this, and as you can see for the visible rows, we are talking about July 1st, 2017. So we have a lot of duplicated data. So a good practice is to group this data or summarize this data. So we're gonna do this. So right click, and then there is an option here called group by. Check this out. And then here, so we need to specify the column to group by and the desired output. So we need to group by date key. The name of the column, let's call this total amount. And then the operation, we're gonna sum every single row, amount. So once you do that, hit OK. Check this out. So now we are seeing only 36 rows. So this is really powerful, and this is gonna improve a lot the performance of your Power BI reports. And then if you wanna approve these changes, you're good to go. Hit close and apply. And we actually went over the second point here, which is really helpful. Let's go back and take a look at the first point. If we go back to the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio tool, we are selecting here everything, right? But we don't care about everything. A good practice is only to select what we care about. For this particular case, we care about date key. So let's make this adjustment real quick, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about here. And then we don't care about these columns, remove them. We do care about amount, and here we're gonna add a function called sum. It's very similar to what we did with Power Query, but we are doing this here in SQL. And let's call this total amount. And then if you're familiar with SQL, we need to use group by. And then we need to group by date key. And then let's see what happens. So we should be getting the same results. So let's run this quickly. See right now? Now we only have 36 rows. So this is working perfectly fine. What we need to do next is just copy this piece of code. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Control C. Go back to Power BI Desktop. And then right here, we're going to be selecting SQL Server Database. Connect. And then we're going to add here the piece of code. Control V. We are pasting this code here because we only care about these two columns. And of course, we need to add also the server name and then the database. Control V. And then let's hit OK. So we are doing here everything in SQL. So we're not using Power Query anymore. But this is what we care about. Hit load and you're going to be good to go. And then we can rename this table as well. If we go back over here to transform data, so let's rename the table that we just created. Let's call this fact finance 2. There you go. For the fact finance 2 table, we are using SQL. So we are making the adjustments directly in SQL. If you don't have the option to do that, you can use also Power Query. That's the first option that we worked on. Both options are helpful, but personally I like the second option because we can use just SQL in the source and then make a few adjustments before we upload the data into Power BI Desktop. Once we are done with this, hit approve and then you're gonna be good to go. The second must do in Power BI is to create a calendar table. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There are different ways to create calendar tables in Power BI. It's highly recommended to create a calendar table if you are dealing with time intelligence calculations. In order to achieve that, we have different options. The first option is to create or to have a day table or a calendar table in the source. So what does it mean? It means that the engineers, the IT folks, they should be able to create a calendar table in the data warehouse for your entire company. So they can use SQL and then they can create this global calendar table. So everyone in your company, within your company, can use the same calendar table. Since you are a Power BI designer, I don't think you need to go over there and create a table in that specific data warehouse. You just need to ask the engineers and the IT team. Now, if you want to create a calendar table, you can do that as well. Perhaps you can use ChatGPT to give you the piece of code. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I asked this question, how to create a calendar table in the data warehouse for the full company. And then you can see here the description. And this is the piece of code that is giving you. I don't know how clean this code is, but this will be a good beginning if you want to create a calendar table in your data warehouse from scratch. You can make adjustments, it's up to you. But as you can see, there are so many tools now that you can use to create a calendar table in the source in your data warehouse. Another option to create a calendar table is Power Query. Power Query is really powerful as well. You can create dynamic calendar tables. I was reviewing actually this morning, I created a tutorial about a year ago how to master the art of creating dynamic calendar tables in Power Query. So this is a tutorial that I worked on last year. If you want to play with it, go over there and take advantage of that tutorial. Another tool that you can use to create a calendar table is DAX. DAX is really powerful, and I already created a calendar table by using DAX here. Let me show you. So there is a table here called dates, and this is the piece of code that I use to create a calendar table. It's quite straightforward. There are a few functions that you need to use. Functions such as the calendar table, date, year, minimum, maximum, add columns, and this is variables, of course, to make the code more readable and more efficient. Another awesome tool to create a calendar table is Bravo. In order to achieve this, you need to install Bravo. Once you install Bravo, you will see this extension right here called Bravo. Hit this option. Once you open this option, it's connected automatically to your Power BI report. And then there is an option here called manage date. Hit this option and then the engine is working here. You have the option here to create a template, the standard template here. The first day of the week, it's usually Sunday, but you can change it based on your needs. And then this is just a preview that you have for your calendar table. So what's happening here with Bravo? This powerful tool is scanning the data, scanning your model, and then getting the minimum and the maximum dates within your model, and then automatically adding this into this powerful calendar table with many columns. Another powerful part of this tool of Bravo is that you can also create time intelligence calculations. Automatically you can create here measures. And let's try this real quick. See right here, it says time intelligence functions. If it's active, and then it says all measures, for all measures you will have here time intelligence calculations. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Preview changes. See right here, this is the calendar table called date, and then we also have the auto template right there, it's hidden. So let's apply the changes and see the difference. So it's thinking, congratulations, your model was updated successfully. Done. Now let's go back to Power BI Desktop. If you go back to Power BI Desktop, now you can see a table here called date. So this is the table that we just created, the calendar table that we just created with Bravo. Check this out. This is referencing the date auto template that we created with Bravo. If you go back over here to model view, it's hidden, and then you can see here the piece of code that the tool that Bravo used to create a calendar table. Really powerful. And then the other cool thing about Bravo is that automatically it created time intelligence calculations. See right here, if you go over the DAX measures table, there is a folder called time intelligence. Check this out. Now we have automatic time intelligence calculations for each measure. See right here, for profits, we have a lot of measures here, and then Bravo automatically created those measures. You don't have to do this from scratch. See right here, that's how it works according to Bravo. So then you have it, different ways to create a calendar table. Like I said before, if you deal with time intelligence calculations, with date calculations, highly recommended to create a calendar table. You can get your calendar table directly from the source. You can use Power Query, DAX, or Bravo. So now let's talk about choosing the right visual. Let's take a look at this pie chart visual real quick. This might look fancy, but let me tell you something. This is not the right visual to compare categorical values. We need to change this and replace it with perhaps this cluster bar chart. Let's see what happens. Now this looks better. Automatically you can see here that France is leading the race. France is making more profits, followed by Germany, and it keeps going. And then who's struggling here? Mexico. We can put a lot of effort here and try to revert these numbers for Mexico. So this is a really powerful concept, my friends. When you are creating visualizations in Power BI, make sure that you are selecting the right visual. For example, if you want to compare or if you want to see a specific metric over time, you may want to use a line chart or perhaps an area chart. Let's keep going and talk about backgrounds. There are different ways to create backgrounds in Power BI. You can use PowerPoint, you can use Canva, you can use Figma. I like Figma because it's more flexible. What you need to do to create a Figma background is just to have an account. So once you have a free account, once you get an account with your email, so you will have access to this Canva, and then you can start designing your backgrounds. I already designed this background. See right here, this looks fancy. So this is the same background that I have right here. Let me show you here real quick. Go over format, canvas background, and then right here. So let's select this background, hit open, and then boom, fit. So backgrounds are really powerful to enrich your Power BI reports. You can use PowerPoint, Canva, Figma, or any other designing tool. So if you want to learn how to design a Power BI background by using Figma, I do have a tutorial as well. I'm going to share with you the link. Let's talk about dynamic format for measures. I have an example here on the left. You can see a matrix. As you can see, profits no format, we have everything there. Every single digit with 2 decimals. Do we really need this format? Or is it too overwhelming? Maybe it's too overwhelming. So now the question is there a different way to improve this? Yes, there is always a different way to improve things. Let's copy this, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, and we're going to be replacing here this measure with just profits. Okay, so it's right there. Now this is changing, and let's do the same here for the profits with no format. Now let's change the profits no format, previous month profits no format, with just the regular previous month profit measure. So now this is working perfectly fine. Now this is more readable. So how does it work? It's quite straightforward. Let me show you here real quick. If we go over profits right here, there is an option here on the left, format, and now you can see here what's going on. See right here, we are using the calculate function to select a specific measure, and then this measure or this selection is going to be dynamic. So the outcome is going to be dynamic based on the selection, and then we have here the results. So let me show you here a quick trick. If we select March, for example, now this is changing from millions to thousands. And the reason that it's changing is because we use the all selected filter within the calculate function. If we select another month, for example, it's going over million. December, million again. How about December last year? In thousands. It's changing dynamically. What is the reason for that? Is because right here I'm using the all selected filter within calculate. So really powerful. And I want to give this a huge shout out to the SQL BI team, Marco Russo and Alberto Ferrari. They have a lot of free information there, and I got this idea from them and I adapted here for this specific case. There you have it, my friend. 5 must-dos in Power BI. The first one, only import the necessary data into Power BI Desktop. Remember, less is more and more is less. Second, create a calendar table. If you deal with time intelligence calculations, a calendar table is highly recommended. The third one, choose the right visual. Don't go for the fancy visual, go for the useful visual. Create Power BI backgrounds. They are really powerful. It helps you enrich your Power BI reports. And finally, use dynamic format for measures. Really powerful must-dos in Power BI. There you have it, my friend. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. See you guys in my next tutorial.